Initiating moisture.
Welcome to the magical world of moisture. Today we're looking at the new Fantastic Beasts movie. I'm a huge fan of the wizarding world. I enjoyed the Harry Potter series, and I really enjoyed the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I thought it was superb. I enjoyed everything that it was setting up. I enjoyed the movie start to finish. The new Fantastic Beasts movie is a fucking wet fart right in my face, giving me a goddamn pink eye. It was bad. It was not a good movie. I wouldn't say it was a terrible movie. I didn't hate it, but it is a poorly made, very poorly edited, and just confusing movie from the beginning to the end. Let's start with what I think is the weakest part of this movie, the narrative. The plot of this movie is so confusing and choppy. It seems like the editing was so incredibly rushed. You'll have a scene that ends abruptly, and then the next scene that starts, and the two just don't match. You'll have characters in a tomb in one scene, and then all of a sudden they're outside of the tomb and completely separated, and you have no idea why, because they were just having an argument in that tomb. So what the fuck happened in there? They all just jerk each other off, and they're all good now in this next area for no reason. You don't know why. The whole movie, the whole narrative is just so poorly told and constructed with so many moving parts, it's impossible to keep up with. You're also left with a lot of loose ends and convenient coincidences, such as, I thought your mind was erased. It wasn't. Oh, that's all? Okay, yeah, I guess it wasn't. They just retcon what happened in the last movie sometimes. That ship crashed. Well, why did the ship crash? Yeah, it just crashed. Convenient. Oh, okay, that makes sense. And you just have to just bite that shit down, and because J.K. Rowling says so. There's no explanation for some of the things that happen in here. There's no whys. It's just, this happened. Don't you dare ask a fucking question. I'm J.K. fucking Rowling. It's a shame. Because I thought Fantastic Beasts did a great job storytelling and presenting some very nice visuals. This movie has some great visuals. I really loved the magic in here. There's a lot of unique spells and a lot of very cool settings, but the plot that's supposed to hold it all together and drive things forward is awful. Truly dog shit. And it's also like tying into, not to spoil anything, it's tying into like real world history. All of a sudden now Hitler's gonna play a role in the Harry Potter universe. It makes no fucking sense. Things are just happening just because Rowling says so without any real connection or reason for those things to happen. I'm not exaggerating. Quite literally, they're setting the stage for Hitler to play a role in the Fantastic Beasts universe. It's absolutely nonsensical. And what's crazy is, she's got a lot of likable characters here. There's almost no characters in this movie that I don't like. I think all of them are very strong, well-rounded characters that you start to care for, but my god, the plot that she throws them in just tries its best to spit in their face. It's bad. And there's also the worst self-sacrifice I've seen in theaters ever. There's a self-sacrifice from a character that is the most underwhelming thing I've ever seen on the screen for a self-sacrifice. It'd be as if a man jumped on a samurai sword to stop a piece of pizza from hitting the ground and killed himself doing that. It's just, why would you bother killing yourself for that outcome? It was so underwhelming. Not to spoil anything again, but someone kills themselves to knock something over. And knocking that thing over wasn't like integral, it wasn't anything important. They just killed themselves to knock something over. And they were an important character. Like, why? Why did that happen? I understand why, because it's supposed to be more motivation for the other characters. It's supposed to be emotional, but you can't help but think it's just silly. Like, is that really the best way you could send that character out, with a big bang and an oorah, knocking something over? Amazing. It's just like an angry Magic the Gathering player flipping over a fucking table and then having a heart attack. It's stupid. Man, I can't vent enough about how weak I thought this plot was. And J.K. Rowling really seems to be doing her best not to step on her own lore, but she is still fucking rampaging through it. A lot of this shit just does not really fit into the wizarding world that's already been established. Maybe it will in the sequels. They'll go back and fix some shit up, but right now, a lot of shit just doesn't match. You're getting new information that contradicts what you're already supposed to know from the world she's created. So I think she's really having a hard time here. Like I said, great characters, great visuals. Another thing, all of the wizards in the Fantastic Beasts are far stronger than every wizard you saw in Harry Potter. Every single fucking wizard in this movie is stronger than any of them from the Harry Potter movies. All of them could have fucking manhandled Voldemort. In Harry Potter, they use 2 spells, basically, ad nauseum. Fantastic Beasts, they're using a spell for everything. They can peel cum out of penises from 2 miles away and then use that to figure out what human being is going to be born from those sperm cells. It's incredible. The magic they're using here is so far beyond everything we saw in Harry Potter. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I think since Harry Potter takes place later on, the magic should be a bit better there as it gets refined and improved. But I don't mind because I like seeing it in the Fantastic Beasts movie. I also much prefer the setting of Fantastic Beasts. I mean, honestly, the movie, aside from the narrative, the plot, isn't bad. It's not like a bad movie. I don't regret seeing it. But man, it's so disappointing coming from Fantastic Beasts 1, which I liked, and pretty much all of the Harry Potters except for Goblet of Fire, which I all thought were very strong, excluding Goblet of Fire, obviously. This one is just such a disappointment. A lot of it is just utterly pointless. It seems like all of it is so trivial in the world that even setting up for a sequel seems like all of this information is useless, that none of it really has much of an effect. It's just such a shame, in my opinion. We're going to plug this shit into the Moist Meter, giving the new Fantastic Beasts movie a 40%. Like I said, I don't regret seeing it. I did enjoy the visuals. Another thing that I forgot to mention, the action has so many lazily put together cuts and chops, you cannot keep up with it. The very first opening with the escape and the chase is damn near impossible to look at. There's so much flashing lights in your face, you feel like you're at a rave. It cuts in between each line that is spoken, or each scream, or each yell, or each action. You cannot put that shit together. Your mind's going to try its best to make sense of what's happening, and it's not going to work. The movie is just really bad when it comes to showing you action or anything really moving, because it cuts so many times. It's stupid. But like I said, don't regret seeing it. It's the worst movie in the Wizarding world. I think it's even worse than Goblet of Fire. But even still, visuals are fun, and I really like the universe, and the characters are good. But I wouldn't consider this a good movie. Let's see ya.